Hey guys, it's Chris, and in today's video, I'm talking about episode 4 to episode 5 of Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Before we get in today's video, I just want to give a shout out to Tony. She does an awesome job on my haircut. That's why I always go to Sports Clips. She always does a great job, so I just want to give a shout out to her. Anytime you go to Sports Clips and she's working, always request her. Let's get into it. First, episode 4. The kids are taking a train through St. Louis when they are stopped by Echidna, the mother of all monsters. She carries a little baby monster in this dog carrier. The tail of the monster pops out of the carrier and stabs Percy with its dragon tail. And at first she's not really affected, but later in episode 4, once they get to the gateway Arch, he's really starting to feel the effect of the poison. The kids retreat off the train and travel into the city of St. Louis. Annabeth suggests they stop at one of Athena's temples, the Gateway Arch. Fun fact, the Gateway Arch is 600 feet tall and an actual national monument. Once arriving at the Arch, Percy starts to feel the effects of the poison. Grover and Annabeth put him in a fountain, but nothing really seems to work. Echidna is slowly approaching the kids when they retreat to the top of the Arch. Echidna meets the kids at the top, and Annabeth tries to stay behind and try to buy them some time, but Percy pulls a switcheroo. Annabeth's kind of like, no, just go down the stairwell, go down, just leave me, I'll stay behind. But Percy holds out his sword, Annabeth grabs it, and he pulls like a switcheroo. He pulls her into the stairway. He stays at the top of the Arch to fight the Chimera, a demigod killer. The monster morphs into a Chimera. This type of monster can morph into different monsters from Greek mythology. Percy really doesn't put up a fight against the Chimera because, like I said earlier in the video, he's poisoned. So when he fights the Chimera at the top of the Arch, he's weakened. He's not as strong. He's kind of getting thrown around because he's poisoned. And because of that, he's almost burned alive by the monster. Echidna causes a massive hole in the Arch, and he's hanging from the ledge. And the Chimera and Echidna are just standing above him, and he falls from the Arch, starts plunging towards the ground, literally towards the ground, when this massive water vortex comes out of the water and catches him, and he awakens underwater. And he's saved by the water, because son of Poseidon, he's saved by the water. He may have not have done it, but his dad saved him from falling from his death. A mysterious woman underwater tells Percy his dad's always been with him. He is proud of him. Trust him. Trust yourself. Just breathe. And that's the end of episode 4. Next, episode 5. Annabeth sees the Sisters of Fate. Annabeth and Grover meet back with Percy and start heading towards Santa Monica. Later in the episode, they meet Ares, the god of war. He explains to them, you get me back my shield, and I'll get you a ride closer to the underworld. Percy and Annabeth infiltrate the Waterland amusement park. This amusement park was built by Hephaestus. They both take a boat through the tunnel of love. At the end of the ride, they jump out of the boat to avoid death. Annabeth starts to drown, but Percy uses the water to save Annabeth. In these last 2 episodes, I really think Percy and Annabeth have bonded really well with each other. And by the end of the episode, they care for each other more than ever. They find the golden throne. Now, you sit down in the throne, you turn completely covered in gold, and then the shield is released. So Percy convinced Annabeth that he will sit down and sacrifice himself to the chair so she can get the shield. Percy sits down on the golden throne and is covered completely in gold. Annabeth meets Hephaestus, and she explains to Hephaestus, Percy's not like the other gods. He's different. He's not like all these other ones. Hephaestus is convinced and frees Percy. Annabeth and Percy return to Ares with his shield. Where's our ride? Ares gets Annabeth, Percy, and Grover a ride to the Lotus Casino in Las Vegas. Inside their ride to Las Vegas, Grover tells Percy and Annabeth he knows who stole the lightning bolt, or the master bolt. In the movie, it's called the lightning bolt. In the show, they call it the master bolt. Same thing. He knows who stole it. And that is the end of episode 5. And it does end on a cliffhanger. Like, he literally tells them that, and that's how it ends. So it's like, they did that on purpose. So you have to watch next week to figure out who stole the master bolt. It's like, there's only 8 episodes, and this one is 4 and 5, and we're going to be on 6. So we're eventually going to learn who stole the master bolt, because season 1's almost over. Alright, that was me talking about episode 4 to episode 5 of Percy Jackson in the Olympians. I'm Spider-ManChris, and I'll see you in the next one.